So almost every law firm is using AI now. ChatGPT for research, a tool inside the Word for contracts, something bottled onto the case management systems. Most partners have no idea how many of these tools are quietly sending client files out of the building. And that is the part nobody talks about. Everyone makes videos about which AI tool is fastest or cheapest. Nobody asks the only one question that matters for the law firm. Where does the data go? So in this video, I'm going to go through the 5 AI tools law firms actually use right now, what each one is genuinely good at, and the exact risk each one creates. The kind of risk that, if you're a lawyer, it lands on you personally. 4 of them have the same problem. The 5th one is the tool nobody's selling you, and it is the only one that fixes it. Quick thing before we start. This is not a video about whether AI is good or bad for lawyers. That argument is over. Clio's own research says 79% of the lawyers already use AI, and nearly half are using generic tools like ChatGPT. It is already in your firm. The only question left is where it sends your files. One more thing so you know I'm not guessing. I've spent 7 years building backend systems before I started building AI for law firms. So I'm not reading off a marketing page. I'm looking at where the data physically goes. Let's get into it. The 4 tools your firm already uses and what each one does with your data. The generic ChatGPT, great at drafting and summarizing, which is why nearly half of the lawyers use it. 2 problems. It invents things. Over 600 lawyers in the US have been caught citing cases and AI made up. One got fined $10,000 after 21 of his 23 codes turned out to be fake. And the second you paste a client file in, that file is on a server you do not own. Cloud Legal AI, Co-Counsel, Harvey, built for law, genuinely good at review and research, but it is still the cloud. Harvey runs on Microsoft Azure and is as solid as a software. They protect you with the contracts and certificates. We don't train on your data, we are SOC 2 certified. Every one of those is a promise about what happens to your data after it leaves your building. It still leaves. Contract AI in Word, Spellbook. Red lines and flags risky clauses right inside the Word. So lawyers love it. Same pattern underneath. It is a cloud add-in. Your contract text goes out to their servers to be processed. Fine for most businesses. For a firm holding a privileged agreement, that is a third party in the middle. The AI inside your case system, Clio, it knows your matters, your clients, your calendar. Very convenient because it sits where your team already works. But now, your whole case database has an AI layer running through a cloud platform. 1 in 5 firms got breached last year. More than half of those lost client data, and a quarter of breaches came in through a third-party vendor. Every cloud tool you plug in is one more vendor. Why private AI from a vendor still isn't private? So you notice the pattern. All 4 are useful. All 4 send your data somewhere else and then promise to look after it. A lot of these tools now use the word private. Read it carefully. Private usually means private inside their cloud, not private inside your office. The data still travels. You're still trusting a contract. For a normal business, that trade-off is fine. For a law firm, it is the whole problem. We promise not to misuse your data, and your data never leaves the building are not the same sentence. One is a policy, the other is architecture. The 5th tool nobody runs ads for. Nobody advertises this one because there is no monthly cloud fee to sell you. It's an on-premise private AI, a box that sits in the firm's own server room. It is not a setting you tick and not a vendor promising not to peek. It is a physical machine. You talk to it in plain English. It reads every document in the matter and it answers with the source and the page cited so you can check it yourself. The whole time, the data does not move. It does not go to OpenAI. It does not go to Azure. It is air-gapped. Same capability as the first 4 tools without the thing that makes them a liability. So what the tool looks like on a real case. So there was one matter. It was 80 documents, depositions, police reports, GPS logs of a truck. The driver swore in his deposition he took a 30-minute break. The truck's GPS said it was moving the whole time. That contradiction is the case, and it is buried across 2 files nobody reads side by side. I asked the system one question in plain English. Compare the driver's deposition to the GPS logs and find the contradictions. It flagged the break and cited 3 source documents with the exact pages. And every one of those 80 documents stayed on the firm's own server the entire time. Nothing uploaded, nothing left the building. The team reviews and approves. The AI just read the file room faster than any human could. Questions to check what your own firm is exposed to. How many of the AI tools your team uses sends the client data to an outside server? If you don't know, that is the answer. Has anyone uploaded a client file or a contract into ChatGPT? Do you have a data agreement with whoever runs that tool? When a tool says private, do you know if that means private on your server or private in their cloud? There is a big difference. Wherever you practice, you have a data protection obligation. Most rules restrict where client data can be stored and moved. Every cloud AI tool is, by definition, data leaving your control. On-premise never crosses a border because nothing leaves the room. The bar rule already covers this. You have to make reasonable efforts to prevent unauthorized access to the client data. So it always comes back to one question: where does your AI send your client files? If you went through those 5 questions and you weren't sure on a couple of them, that is useful. Not because something is wrong with your firm, but because now you know where the gap is. I do free audit for boutique law firms. 20 minutes, I map exactly which of the tools you already use are sending client data out, what the exposure actually is, and what a private setup would look like for your specific practice. No proposal at the end, no obligation. You live with a clear picture either way. If it makes sense to build something together after that, good. If not, you still have the audit. The link to book is in the description, or DM me the word box and I'll send you the breakdown. If this was useful, subscribe and I'll see you in the next one.